Welcome in everybody. I'm so happy to be back today in Air Force One, nothing other than the 747-400. Today we have a very special flight indeed. We're going to fly from Washington DC. Capital Airport is Ronald Reagan International. I'm going to be flying all the way down south to Miami International Airport. If you're new here, welcome in. If you are a continuing viewer, welcome back. So we're here today in a brand new livery aircraft, one that looks absolutely stunning, and one that is completely free to download, and so is the aircraft too. This is the Sparky 747. The livery itself available on the Explain forums, and just an absolute magnificent specimen of an aircraft. So today we're going to be flying down south to Miami. Let's go ahead and get started. We want to make sure we're nice and on time. We're expecting an ETA of 2 hours in the air, 2 hours 30 minutes altogether. So welcome in. Let's get hopping on with the general procedures. We'll get doing the startups. We've already done the pre-flight check, so we'll do the startup procedures for the APU, and then we'll run through the engine checklist. We are connected to VATSIM, but unfortunately there's nobody in the area. And it is also about 8 o'clock in the morning in Washington, so very early. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So let's get some utilities on. Let's get the APU on and all the electrics. The bus ties, let's connect all the systems, hydraulics, and auxiliary pump down here. Now, you can turn them on immediately. Some people might leave them off. A little bit of a discretion there. Now, we'll wait for the system just to reboot, boot up with the APU, and then we can get our IRS aligned. Okay, well, while we're waiting for that, I was going to say let's get some other stuff sorted, but I want to make sure the APU is coming on. Usually it comes on pretty quick. You click on. Let's go ahead and switch to our overhead panel view. It would help if we get fuel pumps on. That might be what's causing it. You haven't got any fuel pumps. You'll then come on pretty much everything actually that's needed. You have got fuel on board, I think. There we go, APU running. Took an absolute while there, so valve on. You can hear the air conditioning switch on, the air come through, and APU bleed air as well. Trim air, yes, we'll stick some trim air in the cabin for now. Again, yaw dampers in and up until systems are alive. So IRS, there's free in this aircraft. Navigation. Hi, the Yoke today. Okay, 7 minutes to alignment. That gives me some good time there to prepare. So now there's no ATC, but we have been given an automatic squawk code. So I absolutely love that. If there's no ATC, some places they will give you one to go with your flight plan. Today our call sign is Air Force One. We are carrying the President of the United States of America. Go ahead in the FMC. I want to load up the flight plan before we do anything else, and then we can mess around the fuel and things. We are in KDCA, and we're going to be flying KMIA. Can't initialize yet, but we can load hopefully a flight plan in. I have forgot how to do it on this company route, perhaps. Yes, that's it, and that loads in perfectly. So it's come up with the AME. The AME 1 should be our departure, or AME Echo 1 departure. There it is, for runway 19. Simply departure and arrival check. AME 1 runway 19. So it works pretty perfectly on this aircraft in terms of downloaded flight plans and things, and then arrival. Number 12, runway C-Stal 2. We got an ILS. We'll wait and see what the plan is when we get there, because there may actually be ATC in the area, and then flight level, of course, will be flight level 380 with fuel 9.6 tons of fuel required. Can't put it in there. I thought that usually we'd have a, so it's got fuel there, calculations. We usually be able to put like an amount in. Anyway, cost index is quite high. It's 165. We have a lot of people on board. We have 386 people, 40,000 kg of payload basically. Right, let's just go ahead and put 2 in there. 480. So what you have to do sometimes, you do have to put flight level 380 and it will work immediately. Right, so let's try and figure out how to use this. It's been a while since I've done 747, so I believe maybe aircraft configuration, no. Ground handling perhaps. All we need to do is put the weight and balance in. Ah, there it is. Packs and cargo. So payload 439, so we're 40270, so we might as well put 40,000.3 in. Round it up. There we go. So that's cool. It's filled out that section automatically for me. Packs payload, yes. Ground services. We should really have started ground services. Let's do now so we can request it. Ground handling. Door control. I wonder if there's a way to connect that jetway to the aircraft. Let's try it. So we're waiting for catering at the moment. Anyway, we'll wait for the end for the chocks and wait for the initialization. It's only got 6 minutes on it. Let's check that's connected. Yes, it has, so that's all good. We just imagine the passengers are loading up in the meantime. Okay, let's get our nav lights on. That's one thing I forgot to do. Navigation lights. And in advance, I'm going to stick the blue down, the engines on. Make sure the air's flowing through it nicely. And we'll go ahead and stick our squawk code in. Welcome in, find us. Good to see you back here. I'm hoping we get some more viewers today. It's a good aircraft. It's Air Force One. And we 3572 is our squawk code. Let's get fuel sorted. I'll do it up here on the iOS instead. Yeah, it's completely dead in Washington. It's only 8 in the morning in America, although I suppose people will be at work, won't they? Work nice and early and things. So, where are we? I did take some pictures of the Washington monuments and things, because we're right next to them. I'll show you in a second. So, fuel-wise, total payload, correct. Baggage, 9,630. Right, so let's put the payload in fine. But baggage-wise, there's not really where to stick it. It's just coming up with cargo instead. Oh well, that's fine. Total fuel weight, 34,273. We need 35,000. So stick a little bit more. We're going to stick another 1,000 kg in there, because we are Air Force Wonderful. We can afford it. So going outside of the aircraft again. Wow, look at that. It looks amazing. There's the airport. Really stunning. I found it to be really stunning scenery in this area. They've taken the time to model it Wow. And then over here, some famous landmarks. The Washington Monument here. This big tower looking very nice. At the end of that, you got the museum, of course, down here where all the famous walkways are. Over here, you've got a building which most people might think is the president's house, but it isn't. This is the Capitol building. And then we go further down past the monument, and I believe it's around here somewhere. We do actually have the White House. Yeah, there it is. So these set of gardens, and then the White House right there. You can even see the American flag on it. That's so cool. Yeah, there it is. Again, pretty detailed. You don't see it from that angle, so usually from the sky it doesn't look as great. Different flight for me today. It's usually a European flight. We'll have to wait and see the feedback and views are on this. I may do more American ones in the future. We just have to wait and see. Okay, let's hop back in. 3 minutes till the thing starts. Once the APU started, we can pretty much get going. Sorry, once the IRS is done, we can pretty much get going. Oh, we have got external power as well, so let's switch to external power. Upper recirculations, after cargo heat. Very relaxing. Some boarding music there. I do think this is an amazing looking model, especially for freeware and X-Plane 12. There are many aircraft that are payware that are worse than this. They've even got the cabin modelled. You know, granted it doesn't look great, but I think it's as best as we're going to get in terms of a freeware 747. Fantastic model it really is. It's certainly a difficult plane to fly, that's for sure. Okay, let's just pre-prepare. Let's just do a few checks on that. Got the RTO on the brakes. 1 minute to the IRS. Now, I'm not using my standard yoke throttle today because there's been... It does work with the 747, but there's been a few issues using it with this aircraft. And with the auto throttle in particular, so we're going to try it without it today. When this toggle is activated, that can cause the auto throttle to not disengage, and then when you come into land, it's sort of all over the place and out of control a little bit. Okay, IRS is long time in this plane, isn't it? In the meantime, we're going to get the maintenance. Ground control. We'll just remove the chocks. We'll. No, we won't. What's happened? Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So you remove the chocks of the aircraft, and it takes the ground power unit away. Disconnect. Door control. It says last action, but we know everyone's on board. Initialization. See, the FMC in this I think is more realistic than the 737 one. It's on par with a real one because it's got that delay in the buttons and the response time. And again, the thing up there isn't accurate either. It never shows the right route. Sometimes it doesn't follow the route. So there are bugs in it. They don't always pop up. Let's put Air Force One because that's our call sign. Performance. Again, we can do this pretty much quickly, not like 737 where we're waiting for everybody. So it's only taking like 5-10 minutes. Let's get the trim sorted. So 23 4.4. You can see there the white trim thing moving. As long as we're in this green zone, we're all good. You can see we have to trim it quite nose down, which I've always found very interesting. Number 19. It's going to be, so like I say, there's no Yoke throttle today because it's not functioning correctly with the auto throttle features. We have to do it manually, which is not a problem. You know, it may work, it may not. So 153 is the V2. Let's pre-select them. Now we usually have charts available for something like this. We're doing the Q&H at the same time. 2992 is currently on there. That's the American version of standard pressure, and it's 3002. Okay, good. It changes it on all of it, and you can see the equivalent down there. So for us British people, 1017, and Americans, of course, anyone else who uses inches of mercury as well. There we go, departures. So we want the airport diagram. We can't really avoid taking off from runway 19 today. That's the assigned runway. You see it all there. 19 right there at the end. So that's good. That's an ideal takeaway. We just get pushed back a little bit and then we straight up Juliet, it seems. Departures. So there's the Amy one on It says direct to Scoob on here. Or Scoob afterwards. Let's have a look where that is. So Amy 1. 5,000 feet is, and there's Scoob. So it looks like 5,000 feet is the limit. Or above 5,000 feet. And then Scoob is correct for us. A little bit strange though, because it's I'm not showing the runway. I can't see the runway from it. So we must be up from there. We'll have to wait and see. Nice little chart. Get back to menu. Ground handling. Move chucks. And I think we're ready to go. We just need to get pushback. Now on this one, the default pushback does in fact work. So...
Ronald, Reagan, Washington, Indiana. Echo, Lima, Echo, heading. Request pushback to the left.
Echo, Lima, X-ray, Lima, Echo, heavy. Stand by. Pushback tractor is on the way.
Get there on the way, so that's sorted. We're going to go ahead and stick our beacon lights on. Both. And that's it. Fuel pumps. All the fuel pumps on. I don't know if you can hear her, but she's talking to me, the stewardess in the back. She's telling me everyone's loaded up and we're ready to go. Just another shot there. If anybody wants to download it, like I say, go to the forums, Explain forums. It's completely free, and so is the Sparky mod, and it probably works on other downloadable aircraft, which are payware or maybe freeware as well. Releasing parking brake. I disagree, so obviously the co-pilot's not got it automatically set. I did tune this before to do it the same as the captain's. Good thing it's a message. So yeah, you do use the default pushback and it does it like does it like that, like it's bouncing all over the place. Got one other aircraft here. So like I say, we're pushing back. I say Juliet and then 19 is Latin. I practiced a few touch and goes in this thing the other day at this airport, so thankfully I know the area. There's the flight plan. I put 10,000 feet altitude initially, and then we'll change it to 38,000. Stabilizer saying it shouldn't be on. Hydraulic pressure systems number 1 should be on. System fault. Guess we have to maybe turn it on and off. Probably because it's not powered. Starting the engines. A lot of umming today because I'm not really sure why it's not starting. So I've had this issue before where I won't really see something that's obvious and then it just pops out. Holy shit! Excuse me. Excuse me, everybody. He's pushed us back onto the runway. Oh, jeez. He's pushed us into the wrong place. Oh my god. Do we have to call better pushback?
Tow is driving up.
Oh man, this might be because this doesn't work properly, you see, so that's why I don't use it. Oh, that's so embarrassing, isn't it? Right, let's get the engines started because we need to get out of this position. We're not getting any ignition on the engines at all. Anyone in chat happens to know what's going on with the engines. APU's on,
Okay,
APU
all doors
bleed
and
on.
hatches are closed. Ready to connect. Set parking brake.
Okay, good. Let's get him to pull us out of the runway. Maybe he can pull us forward a little bit. Yeah, in terms of the engines though, nothing is happening. There's no packs on, so there should be proper APU. Yes, there it is, APU bleeder. Thank goodness. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh my god.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
We need to get off this runway, that's where we need to go.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Yes, come on, pull us out, pull us
Starting
out.
tow, and you may start engines.
Thank you. There we go. Yeah, so again you can see... Oh, actually, it's pulling it surprisingly well. Sorry, Mr. President, we won't make an announcement in the cabin there. We'll just assume there's no aircraft in the new airport. That's where we wanted to be pushed back, or at least pushed back facing in that direction. Yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind for the future. So 2 engines have started well. Let's go ahead and do the other 2. I haven't been monitoring them because I know they'll probably start with no issues. There we go, so warming up there on the oil temperatures. You can see there the rise in the N2 is a lot slower than the 737. Although with the to be fair, with the 747 I've heard mixed things about the fuel. Some people say you should do it straight away and introduce it immediately.
Complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
And others say you should wait till 10 or 15%.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Perfect pushback. Thank you, better pushback. That's 10 times better. Cool, we've had a successful engine start and a successful pushback. We're going to go ahead and give them a call. So we taxi into runway 19 by Juliet. And we're at, let's just double check the name, Ronald, Reagan, Washington. Ronald Reagan, Washington traffic. This is Air Force One. We're going to be taxiing to runway 19 via taxiway Juliet. And of course, I'm not on the Unicom. I think I'm just super nervous, you see, because I'm flying the president, so it's sort of getting to me a little bit. Let's try that again. On the Reagan, Washington traffic, this is Air Force One. We're going to be taxiing to runway 19 via taxiway Juliet.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Oh shit. Okay, that's why I have some issues there. Go around because you can't. Oh, you can disengage it. Okay, thank goodness. Whoo! I might change the title of this video to Nervous Pilot Starts to Mess Up Air Force One Flight. Anyway, let's stick the packs on. Bleed air for the engines is on. Upper recirculation fans. Let's take the APU air off. Turn the APU off as well. Brake pressure, so we can sit down there. We've got it released, it's absolutely fine. A lot of power needed. You see that we crossed runway without having an announcement. There's no traffic in the area, so it's a relatively short one. Welcoming everybody. Please give me your feedback on how this flight is going so far. I'd love to hear it. Ailerons. Elevators. Flight control check complete. So let's do the landing lights, turn taxi lights off. Continuous ignitions. And strobe lights. I think transponder's already on. Yeah, transponder's already on. RTO is set. 10 degrees of flaps. Trim is set. Let's get going.
Speed brakes up.
Wrong one, everybody.
Normal. Speed brakes up.
Oops. This is like something out of bloody Leslie Nielsen's Airplane movie. The one where he's popping into the cockpit and everything's going wrong. Oh god. For some reason I put toggle reverse thrusters, but it's not disengaged in them.
Speed brakes up.
Right, let's do that. Right, there we go. Right, we're gonna taxi onto the runway now. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I really want to do professional flights and I really enjoy it, but sometimes it just gets too much. Rendezvous Reagan, Washington traffic. This is Air Force One, departing runway 19 to the east. So we haven't really bothered with the course or the runway heading select yet. We should really do that, to be honest. It's essential. So we keep it on automatic. We've got one in this aircraft as turns. Runway 19. What a shot. What an absolute shot. Right, let's get going, everybody. Initial altitude 10,000 feet. Landing lights on. Takeoff, go around. Airspeed is alive. 80 knots.
80 knots.
Cross check 1 V1. Rotate.
Positive rate.
Positive rate climb. Gear coming up. LNAV and VNAV. It's certainly a lot more responsive with the controller compared to the Yoke. There she goes. On his way to the United States of America's second capital, Miami International Airport. What a departure, everybody. What a departure. Give it up for the President of the United States. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the autopilot on. Let's hope it follows the routes. Yes, very nice. And 189 has come up on the speed heading still. Speed is automatic, I hope. It should be for the VNAV anyway. It's coming up 189 on the speed as well. Let's go ahead and neutralize the gear. Passing about 4,000 feet. Ronald, Reagan, Washington traffic. This is Air Force One. We climb to flight level 380 via the AME-1 departure. Direct to Scoop. That means we can go direct to Scoob, I think. There's the AME-1, there's Scoob. Now, I would do it, click it in the FMC, but what happens on this particular plane is the line will disappear, you see, so then the whole route will get removed. So for the time being, let's leave it on there. Let's sort out a few other things on the computers. It's such a magnificent aircraft, isn't it? I mean, how can you not love aircraft and flying when you've got these things? They're so safe, they're so fast, and they're just a magnificent joy to fly. We didn't turn the seatbelt signs on because it's Air Force One, and let's face it, we don't want to get in trouble. So ignition's coming off continuous. Let's put some anti-ice on as we climb through. Let's climb all the way to 38,000. Saying autothrottle is disconnected, but it hasn't. Turn off lights are off. Landing lights are off. This is no ordinary 747-400, everybody. It's not only got one of the world's best and most recognisable paint jobs, it's got one of the best wing paint jobs as well, because it's, you see there, the star. Let me show you on the outside. Wow. There it is. wings are like something off of a Top Gun fighter. Very, very different to standard set. Normal set, of course, but I'm saying the paint and things on it is very different. Right, in terms of fuel, everything's looking stable. Let's switch to, if I can remember how to, switch this up here. It's not as easy as a typical 737, I'll admit it. So for this one, you have to go all the way over here to engine and click it like that, and it'll just move it to that side. Stats. Again, electrics is fully functional. Fuel and things, hydraulics, doors, gear. If you're wondering what ECS is, it's to do with the airflow in the systems. You see there, that's a really good diagram of how packs work in the aircraft. So from the APU, if you had the APU on, it would go here to the engines. And of course packs is in the aircraft, so 3 different sections for it. Standard pressure set. Let's try and change it on here again to aircraft so it's synced on both sides. Okay, baro sync should be synced. Let's go ahead and retract the flaps. Probably wondering why I'm doing it a bit later, and to be honest I don't know the answer. It's also super dark here. I wonder if we have got real world time and weather, so I hope you don't mind me doing this, everybody, but we may have to just pause for 1 second. Real world, okay, so we haven't got real world time and weather on. My mistake. I thought it was a bit dark. Although, to be fair, those kind of times when it's slightly dark, sunrise and sunset are the prettiest on X-Wing 12 by far. Thank you, behind us. I do too. It's probably one of the more interesting flights I've done, to be honest. I haven't given you the briefing on why the president's going down to Miami, but I can assure you it's not that interesting. Apparently he's got a few condos down there, condominiums, and he's travelling down there to do a bit of business with them. But he decided to take Air Force One with him. I don't know if you can see or not, I'm trying to look at the chart for arrival, but it's gone super dark. So let's see if it'll change with the map light. That's interesting. Let's turn the map light on. This thing up here, so it's not made a difference. Can't imagine it would. I don't know why that's happened. That's so odd. Anyway, the chart is on there if you can just about make it out for the C-Style 2, or in this case the C-Style 3 because we've got out-of-date information. The RNAV 1 approach there, so we're coming in, I can't remember the approach angle. We know what the frequency is, I just looked at it, so flight level 240. 16,000 feet for the arrival altitude. Devil. The devil is the transition. So that's this one. C-Style 3. And there's our transition level, so flight level 180. All we have to remember is transition level and the height. Okay, let's try approach. So we want runway 12. I'm assuming it's going to be our RNAV approach. We might as well do an RNAV if we're coming in an RNAV. And they haven't got one, so. Oh, yes, they have. Runway 12 Zulu. RNAV approach. Again, super dark. Apologies about this. Okay, that's relatively simple. There's the runway. Virginia Key there for a reference point. Looks like it's 3,000 feet approach. Then 2,000 by Vepco. Can't really see any speed restrictions on it. So I'm assuming just normal approach speeds. Yeah, this will be, so yeah, so that's the approach, the RNAV, after we come in through the arrival on the RNAV as well. So, all sorted. I'm going to let you sit back and enjoy the flight. Any questions? And now, actually let me answer now, Bob, Travel Bob, welcome in. Interested in flying out of our Ronald Reagan Airport. Security usually flies out Joint Base Andrews, KDW Military Airport, just to the southeast. Yeah, I actually did look at that one, Travel Buff. And I was kind of on the fence. I don't know, I was just a bit on the fence about it. I was like, I don't want to scare people away by flying from a military base. Wonder if we can still see it on the map. Yeah, anyway, that's our departure. It's still on the map. So obviously we're flying south to Miami, down in Florida. KD something you said, so it'll be around here. There it is. Well, to be fair, that looks a little bit easier to get around as well for the 747. Maybe been easier, but yeah, maybe next time we'll do an Air Force One from Joint Base Andrews there. I'm hoping that we can do a 747 flight in the future where we go across America again, but we go from somewhere like really well known, like New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Las Vegas. For me, Las Vegas has got to be one of the best airports, so it might be a case of doing Las Vegas to San Francisco, I think. Okay, this is taking an awful long time, isn't it? Only at 28,000 feet. Realistically, we should be having, so it's giving us a thrust reference, but we should be having maximum thrust. So as you can see down there, for some reason it's varying it rather than putting a consistent amount in, which is not usual for a climb. Then again, the engines are powerful enough to support the aircraft. Another 10,000 feet to go. Yeah, so next week we'll do a 747 again. I won't do Air Force One, what we can do from, as I say, Vegas, San Francisco, so I'll put that in. I'll book it in. just to give you context as to how much this aircraft burns, it's an insane amount. We've already burned 5,000 kg over the course of about 20 minutes. Or 30 minutes there, that's a heck of a lot of fuel. I see travel buff. I did start a little bit early, to be honest. I didn't realise it was going to be so quick on the start up. And cheers, Finders. You saw it, you enjoyed it very much, thank you. I'm hoping to edit it a little bit more and add a little bit more footage in, because I want it to flow nicely into the stream, so it sort of develops from a video into a stream rather than like the pictures at the end are nice, but I think if we have one nice flow there, it'll be even better. It's also very, very loud in this cockpit, so I'm just going to crank the noise down ever so slightly. Yeah, so I need to edit the video a bit more and get it synced up with the music, which is, I think I've found the sweet spot now for a song. It's actually called Airlines, believe it or not. Or Airliner. Yeah, it's called Airline by National Sweetheart. It's a free YouTube song and it sounds great. Just quick check-in, everybody. We are just past Myrtle Beach. KM Yankee Romeo, and we're approaching quite fast Charleston. So we're actually inbound now to Florida. Not quite there just yet. Down there we got recognizable airports again. Yeah, just a case of waiting now to get there. I think ETA wise, we have probably not that long to go, to be honest. ETA was 2 hours 30. That was the total time. We're pretty much halfway, gone halfway there, I think. Over halfway. So yeah, another hour at the most. Thank you for bearing with me and watching the flight. I hope that the landing's good. Apologies, finders. I just stepped away there to get a drink. Something about drones in the chat. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. But sorry to hear that. For those people, of course. I'm assuming, yeah, I'm assuming you mean Copenhagen. Good news about Copenhagen, I guess, for this stream. We are going to be flying there next week. Flying from there next week. I don't want to spoil anything. Not that these streams are a particular surprise anymore, but yeah, we'll be flying from Copenhagen. So hopefully you'll enjoy that, finders. Yeah, I just had a look at it. I just read a little bit about it. So, I don't want to say too much in it. I don't want to get drawn into that. But I think people just assume the worst, you know. Could just be people messing around. Alright everybody, we have 42 minutes until we're in Miami International Airport. We are, I believe, in the Florida airspace, well, not about, but we're getting there. I'd say we're pretty much in Florida at this point, even though we're not. That long pointy bit in the United States of America that points out from the south. It's been a long flight, an hour and 49 minutes. Thank you for everyone for watching as well. It's great to see the channel. If you have been enjoying the streams, of course, that's really good to hear. In terms of the videos I've been uploading, I have been uploading Jedi Fallen Order as well. So I hope, you know, if you want to watch that, it's okay. I've tried to upload them in shorter episodes so people can digest them a little easier. I think tonight as well, I'm going to do a stream on it. I've had to return to Planet Jaffa on it, so I'll probably do a stream tonight where we go back. But I'm personally enjoying it a lot. Got to get prepared then, we might as well. We've seen the approach charts and the arrival charts, so I've got that in mind. Let's go ahead and set the auto brakes to a number 1 today. The reason is because the pedal brakes are quite strong on this airplane, so we probably can stop with just pedal brakes and reversers alone. I've tried to look for the, I don't know why I can't see it. That's all the circuit. I'm trying to find the switch for the lights. Oh, there it is in the corner. We didn't do that on takeoff. I've not been doing the checks properly on departure, but I just assume they've all been working. Because usually they do on these kind of planes. Always work. Like down here, we've got the ground proximity inhibit switch. So when we land, we, open them. Oh, that's cool as well. You have an arm switch there with the alternate flaps. So as you can see, the 747 has a higher flap limit, a higher speed limit for the flaps because it's such a heavy aircraft. That when you're at 280 you need flaps in, which is relatively fast, and as you can see there, we need full flaps when we're at 180, so that will give you a kind of idea of what landing speed we'll be coming in at. In fact, if we go down here to this central computer, the central FMC, we should be able to get the initial the speed up on this one. So approach. So the reference speed is 142, but we'll add 5 knots onto that. So it's 30 degrees of flaps, 147. So when we come into land, we'll be below 180, obviously, but still relatively fast. The point is that the flaps come down super early. So tune are approaching now while we get there. So it's saying for some reason cancel mod. Don't know why. Arrival. We know it's 112, but it won't be the ILS. Okay, that should modify the route. Give us our approach procedures. For some reason we're turning. Why are we turning? Oh no, why are we turning? What's going on the flight plan? What's happening? Oh no. So this is something that happens in the plane. Sometimes it gets a bit confused. A bit like me with how to work it. So we need to go on the route to the airport. No. Oh my god. Can we go direct to the approach? I can't even see it on here. There it is. There it is. Hopefully that gets back on track there, direct to the transition. So all I did, the reason why it stopped, all I did was entered the approach into the FMC. I was just trying to see where it was on here, because it's given us like the whole flight plan. So we're going direct Debrel, or the DBRL. So there's C star, that's the arrival, 16,000 feet, that corresponds with the charts. Should be down to 3,000 feet. Quite a slow descent through the RNAV approach. I was looking to see if there was a break in it, and I can't see one, so it seems pretty straightforward. Although this part at the end, I think that's going to be a U-turn there. Sorry, Finders, I keep looking away from the chat. We still don't know. Oh, travel buff. Let me read yours first. Closures not good. Yeah, it's a tricky situation, isn't it? An airport's not exactly. You would see that as a hostile thing, wouldn't you? If it went to an airport, it's quite a big place, massive infrastructure, of course. So there's that turn at the end. Well, the turn near the airport, and then that random one there where we sort of go around in a circle. It's not pointing in the right direction. It'll be U-turn and then runway 12 right there. And that's the hold, of course. So famous Miami beaches. We're not even there yet, but you can just recognise the coastline already. You can sense it. One of the best places in the world, Miami Beach and Florida. Most chilled, I say the most chilled people I've ever met. So laid back, so friendly. Orlando, Florida, very well known place for, of course, Disney. I've been there as well to Universal Studios in Florida. It's just absolutely amazing, it really is. Great place. Princeton, Space Coast. I've never heard of Space Coast before. So yeah, we're more in the Orlando northern part. We need to go a bit further south to get to KMIA, being International Airport, Miami, of course. Let's try and see what's going on with the weather. Fairly clear actually, no clouds lower down. We were supposed to be tracking that airway, I'm guessing, but we've gone off course slightly. We're now on the arrival. We're now on the Devil transition. So transition level, we should be descending really if we're going to transition in their airspace. 18,000 feet, I think it is. Top of the descent doesn't come up till down there. As you can see, TD. I think that'd be too late, as usual. Let's go ahead and do that. 18,000 feet. And that'll give us like plenty of time then. There's going to be a lot of manual things today with the mouse and keyboard because I'm still trying to figure out what will and what will not work on this Sparky mod. So sometimes, like I say, it's a little bit hit and miss. Keep in mind that this stabilizer trim, this is for landing as well. You don't really want to be out of that zone for landing, otherwise you're going to be risking a tail strike. Not only that, but you probably have less control over the rudder and elevator at the same time. So it's going to need a high angle of attack. In terms of systems though, it runs extremely smoothly. I've not had, I know there's a few glitches, but in terms of failures, I've never had a failure on it. And I've only had it for 6 months. Probably less than that. Okay, ILS frequency 108.9. I don't think you can program it in this unless you do it on the FMC. So go to nav radio. 108.9. That's right, isn't it? 108.9. Course is 127. It's very different. Usually it'll capture the localizer and the ILS frequency automatically, at least in the 777 it does. And then VOR2, or VOR right, Orlando VOR is in there, which is kind of perfect to be honest. Although to be fair, we could use the Miami one, it might be a bit closer to the airport. Okay, ADF left. We don't have an ADF frequency. So I think once that's programmed in like this, it will in fact work when we activate the approach switch. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, QNH. For 006. Okay, looks like we have got a failure actually. What an ironic timing as well. It's so strange that happens, isn't it? I literally just said that I never had anything go wrong with this aircraft, and what do you know it? The co-pilot speed thing's gone completely bust. You know, I had the same thing on a 737, and it just wouldn't stop with the overspeed alarm at all. Cascade rotor failure, left 4, static port has been a blockage. It's a good thing we're descending there, isn't it? Because I might give it time to unblock. What an ironic timing. I didn't even plan that, guys. I just genuinely never had any issues until right now. Anyway, descending down, we don't have to worry too much. There's no overspeed alarm, thank goodness. We have got a little bit of rough weather over to the east there, southeast. And I'm not sure, maybe perhaps someone in chat knows, what is cascade rotor failure left for? Is that something to do with, it's not an engine thing, is it? Engine's looking pretty good. In fact, all engines and systems are pretty much working according to the systems, but failed on one side, and yeah, there's not been any alarms yet. He's got backup instruments, I think. Well, you can use mine anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch his to okay, so they've advised the arrival. There's no ATC, but the automatic ATC is just absolutely brilliant. I mean, you should have seen the message just in the top right then. Auto ATC. That is absolutely incredible. It really is. So anyway, there does not appear to be any controller providing clearance. Right, we got that. We got the squawk code for the departure, and then the arrival. Come on, engines. Should put more thrust than that in before we level off. Still descending for some reason. Maybe we need a notch of flaps in there. Anyway, sorry I'm chewing, sorry everybody, I completely forgot I was chewing. I'm having a bit of a nervous day, see, Air Force One, a lot of stress. So welcome, it says, if ATC is offline you may receive automatic guidance to assist online controllers. After receiving instructions, resume home navigation as ATC Auto does not offer separation service and not available everywhere. To provide feedback, blah blah blah, and then Auto ATC Miami Center advises descend via the C-Style 3 arrival. And he's given us the same altimeter as well, which we've just put in. So we've pretty much got the correct procedures there. You know, it's advised to descend via the C-Style 3, which is what we're doing. And we have the correct altimeter, so everything's looking good. In terms of failures, again, I don't know what that this thing is, the cascade rotor failure. Hopefully it's not going to impact the landing too much. I think it is something to do with the engines. I mean, my sort of instinct was drawing me to the engines. Cascade rotor failure. Maybe one of the fans or an internal part has broken. I haven't seen a change in the engines though so far, so we'll have to keep fingers crossed. What's going on the top of the descent? 33724. Yeah, we'll be good at 18,000 feet. I'm going to go as fast as we can though, a bit faster. There we go. I don't know, guys. Yeah, like I say, if somebody knows, I don't. I haven't done that sort of stuff before. It's coming with different things. Some people are saying that it could be an engine. Some people are saying it could be a manual thing, like a tail rotor failure, but it didn't come up with that on the description. Right, let's get prepared again. Let's get descended even more. I think 16,000 was the altitude. Let's get down to 16,000 feet. Now hopefully it'll maintain a little bit of thrust, so it makes the mistake, I think, of idling the engines on descent, and realistically you don't need to do it. See, our guest speed was pretty much near the VNAV speed anyways, 310, so we were pretty much spot on. Time in Miami is 10:35 a.m. That's Eastern Time. -4 hours, so GMT -4. The C Star to arrival. Charlie Star to arrival. So there's our descent point. Yep, it's saying going down 20,000 down to 15,000 feet, so you might as well give them an announcement, just tell them we're on the arrival. Or shall we give them the notification? I've just checked the runway direction. We're actually landing at Miami International on the diagonal runway, so a little bit of a side run there. Let's hope it's clear. Miami International traffic, this is Air Force One. We are descending via the C-Stel to arrival to flight level 150, and we'll be expecting runway 12 approach. As you can see there, the speed is automatically changed to 280. Pray to God that the ILS capture and the approach mode works as well. Love to see it when it does. Auto brakes have already been selected. Fuel tank on engine not empty, is it? We actually put extra fuel in, but it's coming up fuel tank engine. Strange, isn't it? Temperatures and pressures are looking good. These BBs here on the outer engines are a little bit low though. Fuel's also looking good. We've got fuel in each wing, in each engine as well. Go ahead and drop a notch of flaps. Probably don't need wing anti-ice. Whatever those outer two engine ones are, because the engines are pretty warm. Did have an outside air temperature over here, but I can't find it again. Ah, there it is, -5 outside. So it's still the same reference speed of 147. Arm the speed brakes. It's descending again automatically, and it's also reducing the speed automatically. It's doing everything it needs to. We've actually already captured what appears to be the ILS. but I don't know if that's for the airport we need. So this is where it gets a bit tricky. This is where the controls would become sensitive. Take this right hand turn there, past Gucci, straight in arrival. Another approach, probably the best type of approach to be fair. Five degrees of flaps. Okay, the aircraft is pitching up extremely steeply. Let's just check the failures again. I hope there's nothing else. Same thing, so maybe it is the elevator issue. We should have been descending flight level 11,000. Seatbelt signs on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has just turned on seatbelt sign. Please check that your seatbelts are fastened and secure.
There's the runway. The only diagonal one there is in use currently by the airport. It's not coming up an X-plane though. The runway's quite nice and smooth in terms of there's no bumps in it or roller coaster type arrivals, thank goodness. $8,000 we go. Let's wait a little bit. I'll wait a little bit longer before I put flaps in this time. I think that's probably what caused it to pitch up so rapidly. Should be, yeah. So it seems to be pitching up to slow down, which is odd. Landing lights, seatbelt signs are on. 5 notches of flaps have been set. Let's turn the anti-ice off. Go around height there is 3,000 feet. I think 3,000 feet go around, and there's also the hold altitude as well. Missed approach procedures. So we're currently going to approach Gucci 9,000. We're a little bit below it, which is fine. So we're on the final section now of the flight. This is the final arrival procedures. Let's add another notch of flaps. Let's see if it'll maintain that pitch down at the same time. That's the airport, everybody next to us. Now we're turning on base leg. Any moment now, quite steep. Sorry, we're downwind leg. And then we're turning base straight onto final. Aircraft should be descending. I think it's trying to, at least. Just doing it very slowly. 3,000 and 2,000 feet. Final approach height. So let's reduce it again. 2,000. It should reduce the speed as well. So we're turning on to final. And from VEPCO to runway 12 we have 6 nautical miles. I'll probably give them a call out when we're at VEPCO. Lovely, lovely place this. I mean, I've never seen this part of Florida, of course. I've always seen the sunny part. You don't really see this bit. And it's also extremely foggy. That was not expected on the arrival. And there's more aircraft there now, so I think hopefully we get down safely. And then it looks like we'll be just taking the entire runway to the end. Oh no, we can take, if we make it in time, Juliet, I believe that is. And then we'll find a space suitable. We could go Juliet, Quebec, or straight down there, and then yeah, let's just wait and see. So descending down now, not quite quick enough. On the approach switch. Okay, it seems to have locked onto the localizer already. It's pretty good. $20 of flaps. Speed is still quite high. So you'll notice the LNAV isn't on for the approach. There's the runway straight ahead of us. It's because we're quite close to it. Miami International Traffic, Air Force One is on a 6 nautical mile final for runway 12. Six nautical miles, nice. Still maintaining 180 on the speed, that's quite high. I think it put the reference speed in. Although to be fair, we are quite high up. Full flaps, that'll slow us down a little bit. Aircraft should be stopping and descending. Put a reference speed in, 157. Again, approach speed is locked in. Should come up with auto land if it's successful on the glide slope, although we are below it, so let's push down a little bit. So it prevents you from pushing down and then it starts pitching up, which is insane. Don't worry everybody, if you're familiar with the channel you'll know. You'll know. Everything's on, flaps are set, landing lights are down. Just really have ignition on continuous. Well too high up, but can't be helped sometimes. See how responsive that yoke is as well in this one. Okay, 1,000 feet, we would have had the autopilot disconnected by this point anyway. Just wait for those puppy lights. The approach in Miami is quite low down, I didn't realise. Right, takeoff, go around, it's just been clicked. It's not what I wanted.
500.
Oh no, that means I can't put thrust in.
400.
Damn it.
300.
Yeah, that's another glitch. You can't put thrust in.
200.
So there's 200. We're
Glide slow.
a bit too slow. Come on, throttle. Let me throttle up.
100. Approaching
Glide
minimums.
slow.
50. 40, 30, 20, 10.
Speed brake set.
God, that was rough. I think we need to put reversers on. Let's open them up. And our speed brake.
Reverse is normal.
I have no idea if that's putting the reverse in or not. Anyway, auto brakes did the job. Yeah, so that auto throttle disconnect, and then you can't use As you can see, it's just idling it, which is a pain, which means you can't get off the runway. Well, in our case, we might be able to. It's very strange, and then it stops. Yeah, that's a glitch, everybody. No control over those throttles. Let's keep it on full. Get moving off the runway quickly. There we go. So yeah, the brakes are locking up when I'm coming on the runway as well. Absolutely bizarre. Let's get the flaps retracted. Let's get our landing lights and text lights on. Strobes off. Transponder to standby. It was a really short landing. I'm going to watch that though. I'm going to re-watch it. It is a beautiful plane, find this. That livery is just incredible. Yeah, so the livery itself is free, as I say. Parking brake seems to be activated when you push the brakes. We've taken the completely wrong turn off. A little bit embarrassing.
Speed brakes up. Reverse is normal.
Right. Come on, aircraft.
Speed brakes up.
Oh no. I mean, it was a good flight. It was a good flight overall. I've enjoyed it. A few mistakes in there and a bit of messing around, but we did it. So we're gonna. In fact, we could take this one. It's a little bit quieter. Gives it a bit more room to maneuver than if you just go straight down Sierra, and we'll just go wherever that is. Air Force 1 Miami International traffic clear of runway 12, taxi into parking via Sierra. Airport diagram, this will be a good one. Sierra, and then I'm assuming they're going to be big enough for Air Force 1. I feel like we can fit on the end somewhere here, that'll be appropriate. Yes, Sierra to Foxtrot.
Speed brakes up. Reverse is normal.
I think it's free, that space. So this one, I'm just looking at this one at the end here, this double slot. You'll notice as well 747 has steerable landing gear as well, so the main, not just the main gear, but the body gear turns in the right direction too. Yeah, so we take this one on the right. It seems like the biggest space available.
Reverse is
Probably
normal.
should have gone on that one next to us. Oh well, I think I think we'll have to turn the engines off at that point.
Speed brakes up.
Right, let's hope it disengages. Come on. There we go. Fuel cut off. I don't have a checklist for this aircraft, unfortunately. APU should be on. Beacon lights are off. I'll leave the nav lights. Request ground services for the President and also the rest of the people on board. Request shocks. Oh, we do have a pushback on there, I didn't even notice. I'll have to use that one next time. Door open. Hopefully, okay, we can't attach the jetway. No stair options. Nice. I think we're off the taxiway there, we're just about off it. Well, that's been Air Force One, everybody. Let's go and have a look at the replay. Let's hope it doesn't crash the stream. $3 hours, eh? So, estimated flight time is actually pretty accurate. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. It's been a great day.